and we feed them every single night in one of your original Neater feeders. He brought it to us first. Now, for the national television debut, this is your new design.
Neater Feeder Express, yeah. It's redesigned, it's more affordable, and we've got to introduce a new color.
Yep. Now, we've got sizes for big dogs,
yep,
medium-sized dogs, small dogs, and we can't forget cat owners.
The cats, yeah.
We've got it. The Neater Feeder is an easier way for your dog to eat in a comfortable position, and because it's called a Neater Feeder, it means you'll do a lot less cleanup.
Absolutely.
There's the size chart.
Yeah, so the big one is for Labs, German Shepherds, dogs of that size. Medium, more like Cocker Spaniel, Beagle. Small dog, Yorkies in that range. And then all breeds of cats can work with the cat model. So if you've got dogs or cats at home, you're familiar with the problem. There's a mess around their food and water bowls. It can be people bumping into them.
Right.
In my case, I've always had large dogs, and it looks like a tornado hit after they eat.
Feeding time at my house is mayhem. So take a look at this, and we've got this fully loaded with water and fully loaded with food.
So the real secret to how the Neater Feeder manages spills is what it does with the water. When the water spills, it runs down this channel in any direction. Everything slopes, so it goes right through those drain holes, collects in this lower basin.
To easily be cleaned up.
Right.
It's not on the wall. It's not all over the floor.
You're not going to slip on it. It's not going to ruin your hardwood. It's not going to warp your tiles.
I pulled a couple Dorothy Hamill ice skating moves trying to walk across the kitchen floor after the dogs ate because there was enough water on the floor.
Or the soggy socks. We hear that all the time. Yeah.
And you'll notice it's elevated. And your dog wants it that way. Most of us, and I did it for years, Fernando, I would just put a bowl on the ground. These are the same quality food-grade stainless steel bowls that you would find at the most expensive pet stores. The original Neater Feeder, which I've had mine, when did you bring that to us? How many years ago?
5 years.
5 years ago. We still use it every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
they
a
last
problem.
forever.
But this is about 50% of the price of what we have with the original.
Yeah, the Express model is definitely more affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're built like tanks. I mean, they are beautifully, beautifully done. Let's go out here to the front, because I want to show you. Because it's not always just the dogs that make the mess.
Right. If you look over here.
Yeah,
I mean, this is what my floor typically looks like.
Yes.
And if you're walking through the room with a laundry basket, you bump into that, and that water is something you better clean up right away.
Yes.
Otherwise, you've got a real disaster on your hands.
I'll tell you a real quick story as we take a look at a much easier, neater way to do it. I called a repairman out because I thought my washing machine was leaking. And it's because we feed our dog in front of the washing machine.
Right.
Had nothing to do with the washing machine.
It's all that
My
water.
dog was a pig.
Right.
Okay?
Well, look at this. I mean, this is so accident proof.
And even if the dogs, if you serve kibble,
Yep.
the kibble therefore doesn't get everywhere. It doesn't get mixed in with the water.
Right.
And it's super easy to clean. By the way, look at where their necks are.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out. With dogs or cats, the small dogs can reach into the small unit with absolute comfort. Here's just, examples of accidents. Kids play, people bump into the feeder or water bowl, and they get a mess all over the floor. With the Neater Feeder, it protects you from all of that.
Now, let me show you something else. And there is a difference between a small dog and a small cat. And you'll notice it in the size of the bowl.
It's a shallower dish for
Cats
the cat.
don't like to put their faces into deep
Right, they have
recessed
sensitive
areas.
whiskers. They like shallower dishes.
So there's your cat bowl. Here's your small dog bowl. Again, these are all stainless steel. This thing is built to last forever, but people are starting to understand. Vets are recommending that you elevate your dog dishes.
It can be more comfortable on their joints, especially older dogs, arthritic dogs. They don't have to lean all the way over to the floor. So.
Just the amount of engineering that you put into this is brilliant.
One thing I want to point out is when the food spills, if we can take a look at this, see those holes where the water drained down?
Right.
That is too small for any size kibble on the market to fit through.
Okay.
My dogs, half the time, they bury their heads in there, and that
Yes.
food's all over the place. It stays available for them to eat. It's not on the floor where it's going to attract ants, right? It's up here, and you know how expensive food is these days for dogs. We're feeding them as well as people.
Sure.
So you don't want that on the floor, sweeping it up and throwing it away. So it stays up here where they can reach it.
And it's unobtrusive. It doesn't take up any more room than those fancy little wicker wire dog bowl holders, but it prevents the spills that can create damage to your floors or just make it dangerous for you even walking around.
And it separates how the food and water spills.
Yeah.
The water's below, the food's up here where they can reach it. And you talk about space in a way, it takes up less space than two bowls on the floor, because if you put two bowls on the floor, you better leave plenty of room around them for the spills.
And there's your puppy. And your puppy has this built-in straining system on his face.
Right.
And anybody who's ever owned a boxer, boxers, that flat face, it's gorgeous, but they can't drink water without throwing half of it up against the wall.
Right, and I can't tell you how many people have told me they have to paint their walls.
Yes.
Because it's just full of, like, spackle from the splatter.
And most of us feed the dog in the same exact area all the time. I've seen a lot of other units. I've seen every design out there. For my wife Kelly and I, our dogs are our family. There's nothing better than a kneader feeder. And most people know if they've got a small, medium, or extra large dog.
Right.
But kind of run through again the breeds.
Sure, yeah. German Shepherds, Labs, the largest breeds would go into the extra large. And then the large unit is for Cocker Spaniels, Beagles, dogs in that size range, Yorkies, Chihuahuas, Maltese, and the small dog.
If your dog fits in a purse, get the little one.
Yeah.
If
and
you've got
cats
a cat,
are all the
and
same
again,
size.
the cat is different than dog bowls. They're considerably more shallow. With the research that Fernando and his lovely wife have done, they know that cats don't like deep recessed areas. This is what I feed my dogs with. I have the original, which by the way, was considerably more expensive. This is beautiful. This is perfect for the holidays.
Dan,
Continued
thanks very
success
much.
with what you do. We appreciate you. Our pets appreciate you. The brand new Kneader Feeder Express. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Dan.
One of my favorite times of the year is October, and that's because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And as a breast cancer survivor, I love that what we do here at QVC to really support, which is Fanny Shoes on sale. And we always have, during the month of October, Monday through Friday, just right before the Today Special Value at $7.55.